Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. There are a lot of questions in this one. None of the players know anything, not even our names, hence the question marks. The scenario is entitled Forget-Me-Not, and it's part of a collection called The Things We Leave Behind. It was written by Brian Sammons, and Jeff Wilkins will be our game master. The players are ready. The GM is ready. Let's begin our journey into the darkness. Jeff?
Thanks, Tom. So just to give the listeners a quick heads up, I ran a few mini episodes, I guess you call them, with the players. So some of the things that might come up, especially in the very beginning, are things that are basically only known between the GM and each individual character. So if you're a little bit lost, don't worry about it. Just roll with it. All right, so let's jump into this. Let's see if we can get some answers here. So I'm going to start kind of talking to Mick's character, which I'll be calling player 1. Tom, you'll be player 2. Sean, you'll be player 3. And Kurt, you'll be player 4. I'm going to start with Mick's character, player 1. As you've now become conscious, you have become aware that you are the driver in a white van that has careened off the side of the road and is currently at about a 30 or 40 degree angle in a ditch. The general atmosphere is that it's cold. It's nighttime, although there's still a glow in the sunset. Must have recently happened. There's still a bit of glow in the sky. So it's not like pitch black. You can tell there's a large rolling cornfield on one side of the road, the side of the road that the van is on, and on the opposite side of the road is woods. So you're pretty much out in the middle of nowhere.
I at the moment, I think I want to just get out of the van.
So let me briefly
want to be in here.
Yeah, let me briefly describe a little bit of what happened since you became conscious. When I left off with you, you were attempting to wake the woman that was sitting in the passenger seat. As you kind of gently rubbed her shoulder and kind of shook her to wake her up, she did come to, and she basically had a little bit of a reaction that she didn't recognize you. And you kind of scared her a little bit because you're dirty. Actually, you're all dirty. You're all filthy. You're covered in dirt and muck. And you especially, player 1, you've got blood all down the front of your face and down the front of your shirt. It's safe to assume that you probably hit the front of your face with either the airbag or maybe in the crash.
Who are you? Don't touch me. Who are you? Who are you?
And then in the course of her becoming conscious, she became aware of the gentleman that was sitting behind you, Mick, in the van. And she got up and was starting to walk down the center aisle of the van and was making an attempt to wake him, at which point he woke, and there was a bit of a panic situation because when he woke, he became quickly aware of the fact that he had something around his neck. He was being strangled at the moment. And in the course of the car crash or the van crash, it turns out it was a set of headphones, and the wire had gotten wrapped around his neck, and the headphones were like behind the seat, and the other end was like jammed in the seat next to him. So there was a little bit of a panic, and he eventually got it loose, got himself free. And he was one of the first ones to realize that the van is still running and the cabin is full of carbon monoxide. So he's been yelling, talking to you, player 1, to get you to shut the engine off. And in a little bit of another panic, he is now very anxious to get out of the van to get fresh air. So he got up and he walked to the back of the van because the back doors were open. Excuse me. And when he got out of the back of the van, he found another man lying face down in the dirt. A woman, I'm sorry, another woman lying face down in the dirt. This would be player 4, Kurt. Player 3, Sean, you attempted to wake him, but he didn't wake right away. And then that's when you sort of made your way to the side of the van. So you're kind of like up on the street already, and you're kind of motioning to the people in the van to get out of the van because of the carbon monoxide.
Yep.
Turn off the engine.
Yes. First things first. I'll turn off the engine.
But we can get out of the back of the van pretty easily.
Yeah. Maybe just switch the key around so the engine's off, but the lights are still on.
Yeah.
And can I open my door?
Your door is currently like
My
wedged in
door's-
the dirt. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you don't
I remember
you're
that.
gonna have to probably go out the back door is the easiest.
Come on, we can get out the back door.
Yeah. Let's get out. It's not safe to be in here. It's definitely not good in here.
So we make our way out.
As you guys exit, the woman that was laying on the ground, she's also coming to now. And you don't even need to roll this, but you each, as you're getting out of the van, you each notice, or you all notice, that she actually has a mouthful of dirt. And as she's becoming conscious now, she's spitting and coughing the dirt out of her mouth.
Oh my God, what happened?
Christ,
it all
are
out.
you okay?
I don't know.
What's with that?
We've been in some sort of an accident.
Who are you people?
I was driving.
I think we've probably all got mild concussions because my long-term memory seems to be gone.
Oh, God. Get this dirt off of me. And I'll start like using the rain to immediately just become fixated on trying to clean myself. I'm a woman in around mid-30s.
Jeff, do I have any kind of like a handbag with me, or
You might have one in the van.
I'm going to? I mean, the air is kind of clearing out. I'm just going to look back in there and see if I have a handbag.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mess because everything that kind of was in the van when at the impact, it kind of all
Flew
slushed
around
towards the front of the van, like so there's probably a purse, there's probably a backpack, there's water bottles, there's miscellaneous equipment like a toolbox, that sort of thing.
Well, if I see a purse, I grab my purse. I
Okay.
assume that it's my purse and not her purse. But and as soon as I step back out, I'm going to open it up and see if I have any ID.
Sure, you do. You probably would find your wallet in the purse. There is a picture of you, so it's safe to assume that it's you and not.
Is this me? Because I
Yep.
can't see myself.
And at this point, you can give yourself a name.
What is my name? Oh, I could give myself a name?
Mhm.
Oh, I wish I thought that I was going to have to give myself a name. Carry on with the other people from
Okay.
Hi, Carrie. How are you?
Is Carrie on your name? On?
Is that OHN?
OHN. Must be Dutch.
Hungarian, maybe?
I will go over to the van and maybe if I see a water bottle, use that to try and clean myself. If I pull off my sweater, if I've got maybe a t-shirt on underneath just to get the muddy sweater off of me.
Sure.
I'm given that she's just had success with looking in her handbag. Can I check my pockets?
Yeah, when you see her find her ID like that, you think, hey, maybe that would work for me. And sure enough, you check your pockets and you find a wallet in your back pocket. You have a California's driver's license. And again, you can give yourself a name.
Okay.
Me as well.
Sure. You know
I'd
the
like to
routine.
poke around. I'm like, what the heck?
You know the routine.
All right.
So,
Give
yes,
myself a name.
You can give yourself
That
a
is
name.
That is not ending in Sterling. Okay.
Joanne Smith.
Joanne Smith.
Does that sound familiar to me?
It feels right.
Okay. Joanne Smith. I didn't know. I thought I'd be a Joanne, but okay, Joanne. Joanne Smith. How old am I?
Yeah, doing the math, you're 30 years old.
All right. I wish I could remember any of this.
Tabitha, I do the same thing. Tabitha Green, and then I also pull out. I've got a phone that's broken, like a smartphone. I'm able to go into it and see pictures of us. I don't recognize you people, but I have pictures here. One of us is a picture at a bar, like a selfie, like we're having a good time. There's another one here we're on a hiking trail together.
We must be friends.
Does anybody remember anything?
I'm apparently called Damien Clifton.
I'm Daniel Reed, apparently.
I don't feel like a Damien.
Let's check your hairline.
I don't get it.
Movie
You've
thing.
been teased about that all your life, probably.
I don't.
Well, apparently you've seen a movie.
What was your?
remember ever
I'm
having
sorry,
seen
Sean.
it.
What was your name?
I'm Daniel Reed, R-E-I-D.
And honey, what's your name? Oh,
Tabitha Green.
Oh, Tabitha.
I thought you meant me, Jeff. Jeff.
No, I only call you honey in private.
And you were who, Tom?
I am Joanne Smith.
I'm also as I start to try and still pretty obsessively try to clean myself, but also as I'm getting my bearings a little bit, you guys, I've got like almost like a utility belt, and it has like these pouches, and I open one up and pull out a handful of batteries, and then in another one, another pouch, I pull out what looks like a little gun, and it's a it says something some type of brand and thermometer.
In the world?
Does anybody know what this is? What do I have all these batteries for?
Batteries.
So just kind of put the batteries into the van and take off the utility belt and throw that away. And hold your gun.
Tabitha, you're in kind of utility clothes, but I'm kind of nicely dressed. How are the other guys dressed?
She's actually nicely dressed too. Maybe not quite as nice as you, but she is.
I pulled off a sweater, have kind of maybe a tank on underneath. I just have like a utility belt, like a tool belt almost.
I see. Is there any writing on the side of the van?
No, it's completely white.
Huh. I wonder what we were doing.
I'm going to walk around the front of the van and see if there's anything. Maybe we hit an animal, a deer. We're out in farm country, so.
Where the hell are we? We're out in the middle of nowhere. Corn? Good God, are we in Nebraska? Why the hell would we be in Nebraska?
I think I saw a house down the way, didn't I? Up the road, GM? There's a house with lights and a porch.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
maybe
pretty
we
far.
should-
It's probably a good mile or so.
Well, I think we're never going to get this van out of the ditch on our own.
Well, we should do a sweep
we're-
around to see if any other things have fallen out of the vehicle, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there any equipment inside that would indicate what we were doing?
Tabitha, I think going back to what you said, as you start to walk around the van, you don't necessarily see any other signs of damage. Like it doesn't seem like you might have hit a deer. Like you would probably see an impact from that.
Nothing, no like dented fender, no roadkill on the road or anything like that.
Yeah, nothing like that. I mean, the van is damaged because of hitting the side of the ditch and all, but it looks like it's mostly cosmetic. It doesn't look like it's going to be threatening to the engine at all.
Does it look like we could get the van out of the ditch?
I think at a quick glance, you could tell it would be nearly impossible. The back let's see, the back passenger tire is actually up in the air.
Yeah. Well, I try to walk a straight line and see if I'm drunk, but I don't feel drunk. I just feel like I've got a headache and been banged around pretty bad.
Yes.
And Damien, your face, you need to, let's clean that off for you. And I see if I've got like a handkerchief or something.
That's probably a good idea. If we knock on someone's door in the middle of the night and I'm looking like this, they're gonna.
Well, they'll believe we were in a car accident for sure. Here, let me clean that for you.
I guess that's for sure.
So
what time is it? If I look at the phone, or if one of us have I would assume maybe I'm wearing a watch. What time is it?
You check your phone it's probably at least one of you has a watch. It's 8:30. It's about 8:30 at night.
Okay, so it's not the middle of the night.
I'm wearing an old digital watch. What the hell is wrong with me? What kind of taste do I have?
Is it a calculator watch?
No, it's just got big old green LED numbers on it.
Huh? Those are the watches that cause cancer.
What? I throw my watch away.
Is there a gun anywhere?
Tabitha has a gun.
No, I mean like a gun. I mean I've got like a holster. Here, look.
Maybe you had one of these.
Maybe it was a phone. No, this is like a proper gun holster.
Yeah, when you look at it, it's clearly like, it's got the impression, like the imprint, like an actual gun was lodged in there.
Why would you have a gun?
I don't know. Why would any of us? But, is there any way we can sort of root around in the van really quick, see if there's flashlights or anything like that? You said there was a satchel.
Yeah, there's probably a backpack.
Why don't I just start handing stuff out to you guys?
You said a toolbox too.
Let's take inventory.
Yep.
All right. So I go back in and I start handing stuff out.
I don't really want to go back in the van.
Well, we're kind of clear. If you keep waving the door, it'll clear some of them.
Yeah, I feel a bit. I'd rather stay outside.
Why don't you sit down? You had you might have a broken nose.
Yeah. I'll just sit down for a minute. I'll just let me know if you see a gun in there.
Let's do you all have like either a blank character sheet or a notepad or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't everybody each take 3 points of sanity loss?
Okay.
What's our starting number?
Yeah, we don't have.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to write it down on the margin, I guess.
Okay.
-3.
I'll write it down on a notepad thing because I've got the electronic sheet in front of me.
Other than being kind of banged up and tossed about, none of us seem to be injured or any of us bleeding once we kind of try to clean up a little bit, or any sprained ankles or anything like that.
Yeah, so you all are hurting. You all feel like you just went a 12-round boxing match and lost. So you all are bumped and bruised and scraped. But specifically, your question is, Damien appears to be the worst with the blood. Now, maybe that's mostly just because it looks the worst, but the rest of you are hurting, but there's nothing serious.
Can I tell if he's had a broken nose? Because I was sort of fiddling with his face.
Try
to wipe it off.
Let's do a first aid roll.
We've got to get you to a doctor.
91. I guess I don't know.
If it wasn't broken before.
All I was doing was wiping his face.
Ow!
What are you doing?
But you've got hair all over your face. I'm trying to get it off.
Yeah.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Get off my face. I've hurt myself. What are you doing?
We've got to get you to a doctor.
So to go back, into your question about what's in the van. So there's some personal effects, personal items, nothing really of note, other than it looks like you may have been ready for maybe like a day trip. You know, there's an extra jacket in the backpack, the bottles of water. There's like bits of food here and there, like
Let's
like
bring the
granola
bottles
bars.
of water. Bring the
I'm sorry?
bottles of water. I just said bring the bottles of water.
Oh, okay. And like, you know, a few granola bars, you know, things that you would pack for like a day trip.
I just had a thought. Is there a? Can you, while you're in the van, look on the dashboard. See if there's a sat nav,
What's that?
like a like a thing that tells you where you're going.
We've got smart. I've got my
You mean
smartphone.
like a Garmin?
Yeah, that kind. Yes, that's what
Okay,
we call it here in America, isn't it? Yes. Sorry, my mind's all over the place.
It took me a second to realize what you'd said. Smart nav. I go up to the front, and I'm looking around. I'm also looking for the gun to see maybe it fell to the side of the chair or slid underneath.
How thorough are you searching?
Well,
if you take time to look for it, we can do that, or I'll ask you to do a spot hidden.
I'm taking a little bit of time to look. I don't see a smart nav, but I'm looking at.
When Damien mentions looking for a nav, maybe I'll try and see if I can get enough of a signal on my phone to open maps, Google Maps.
Do a luck roll.
Do I find anything at all?
Do a spot hidden.
Okay. It is kind of dark.
My
I
luck
haven't
roll's
found a flashlight either.
My luck roll's a 20.
I got a 45.
All right, let me show you this.
Michigan.
Cleo, Michigan.
Okay.
Okay.
Michigan.
Did we drive here from California?
Be a long drive.
Yeah.
That's where my driving license says I'm from.
Oh yeah, what does my license say I'm from?
Yes, you all check, and you're all from
We
California.
all have California.
We're all from Jeff?
California.
California.
Whoa. What are we doing out here in the Midwest then?
I don't know. Do I find anything up in the front of the car?
You got a 45, right?
45, correct.
You do not
Good
find a
connection is
weapon.
breaking up.
Okay.
You do not find a weapon.
Okay. I don't find anything up here. So it's too dark in here. I'm going to just leave.
I can see you okay, Kurt.
Yeah.
As you mentioned you're like sort of sorting through stuff. So beyond the personal effects, then I mentioned the equipment. So you're starting to see things that, like I said, there's extra battery packs. There seems to be a plethora of AA batteries. There are digital cameras, 1 or 2 digital cameras. There are a few like handheld recorders, voice recorders. There's a few TV monitors, small, like like an 8-inch screen, say. And what looks to be like maybe some sound equipment.
Guys, there's some stuff in here that makes it look like maybe we were a bunch of reporters or something. We got cameras, we got video recording equipment back here, and we're in a van. So,
Hey, maybe we were making a movie. We're from California.
Maybe there's some footage on one of these cameras or something that'll tell us a little bit more.
Yeah. Is any of it working, or can we?
I don't know. Here, I'll grab a couple of pieces of equipment and I'll bring them out with me. I couldn't
check
find
the voice recorders.
I was really hoping that I'd find a flashlight, but I don't see.
Oh yeah,
anything.
sure. There's at least 1 or 2 extra flashlights.
Okay, so I got flashlights. So I hand the phones and the voice recorders or whatever it is out. Maybe we're celebrities.
Can I check the glove box to see if this is a rental vehicle?
Sure, that's a good idea. You you're gonna climb up into the front door there, or go back through the back door?
I'll go back through the back door, but if it seems like the vehicle's tipping, I'll be careful to make sure I'm not tipping it over. And if I do, I'll give up on that idea and maybe go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what did Daniel? Was it Daniel? Could you keep an eye out if you can see a gun anywhere? Because I think I had a gun, and
I looked around for his gun.
No, I'll see if I can find it for you.
I looked around for his gun, but I didn't see anything.
I'm just like, what if
I
lost a gun? That's serious. If you lose a gun, you can get into a lot of trouble. I mean, why did I have a gun?
You make your way into the van. It seems stable. It doesn't feel like it's going to tip or anything like that. And you get up to the glove box, and sure enough, you open the box, and there it does look like there's some duplicate copies of a rental agreement.
Okay. Can I see? Was it from California we rented this?
No, here in Michigan.
Aha. And whose name is signed, or can I make it? But who actually did the renting?
There's a name on there. It says Lynn Cartwright.
Anybody know a Lynn Cartwright? Probably not. Eh?
I don't even know me, man.
You don't look like a Lynn Cartwright, though.
We could be, any one of us could be married to Lynn Cartwright, and we wouldn't know the difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Damien, here's some water. Make sure you're hydrated because you might have a concussion. It might be, if we're all celebrities, you might be the hairdresser, and you had an air dryer instead of a gun in that holster there.
Did you see a hairdryer?
No, I didn't actually, but I can't see very well in there. It's dark. You were gone for a second, Kurt, but you're back.
Sorry.
I mean, I want to have a look for it, but I don't. I don't want to go back in that van. I'd rather get out in the fresh air for a while.
We can find it later.
Yeah.
I go to sort of pat him on the shoulder, but at the last second, I kind of pull back, like I don't know why. I don't want to touch him.
Am I the kind of guy who loses a gun? That sounds a bit sketchy to me.
I'm going to try something a little different here, because why not? This episode is starting off very different. Could all of you just turn away from your screen for a minute? Can any of you tell me, obviously, so Tom, you don't need to answer this, but can any of you tell me what color shirt Tom has on?
Gray.
Tom, can you tell me what color shirt anybody else has on?
No.
Okay, you can turn it back around.
Did we just prove that Tom's lost his freaking mind?
That was just something I wanted to try instead of doing a spot hidden roll. I wanted to see if you guys were observant. So
now we have to pay attention to everything.
So, Daniel, you noticed that you and sorry, I'm still getting used to these names. You and Damien are wearing the same T-shirt. It's a dark blue T-shirt, and there's a patch on the left breast pocket.
Is there anything written on it?
It looks like this.
Hey, look at this patch on our shirts Damien and I have on.
Wait.
What is this, like it must be a TV program.
Yeah, is that Is that a TV show?
It's got to be. Like, there's all cameras and monitors and.
Are we those crazy people who go through people's houses and find ghosts? Oh my God.
Oh, those ghost hunting people.
Of all the things to be.
That sounds kind of cool.
Oh, geez. I think that we need to get our flashlights and we need to walk down to that farmhouse.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
Uh-huh.
God, if we are ghost hunters, I hope to hell that...
Maybe that's
What?
why we
Ghost?
crashed. We saw a
Hang on.
ghost.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Has everybody
Maybe we
checked their
swerved
pockets?
because Bigfoot was in the road or something. I don't know.
Do I even have pockets?
I just wondered, like, pockets. No maps kicking around, no paper maps or anything, or
Just the one that
just that one?
Yeah, that Tabitha brought up on her phone.
There's nowhere marked on it.
Does anybody want some gum? I have some gum in my purse. Unless
No,
Gene says I don't.
I don't chew
Fine.
gum. But thanks, yeah. I could go for a drink of water, though.
Well, here's a bottle of water.
Thanks.
Have I got a phone or something?
You actually do, but it's one of those old-fashioned smartphones. Or, I mean, not smartphones, flip phones. And
I thought my watch was old.
before you say anything derogatory about that, I actually have a flip phone. So
They'll kind of give you cancer?
no.
Is there is there like a calls list on there?
Yeah, that would be a recent calls list.
What's the most recent call on there?
It's probably going to be to Joanne.
Okay. Are there any recent calls on there that aren't to the other three people in the van?
There are maybe a handful, but nothing that you would recognize.
Okay.
I'll do the same maybe on my smartphone. Check, see if there's any recent text messages or emails that might give me an indication of what we're up to.
Yeah, there's pretty much what you would expect. You would see like Joanne's name, you'd see Daniel's name. You'd actually see a message from Lynn Cartwright, so you knew that person. But nothing really revealing at all.
Okay. Well, should we make our way to? I guess is there enough of a signal we were able to get cellular data enough to ping our location? What about maybe trying to call roadside assistance, AAA, anything like that? Tow truck. What do you guys think? What do you guys think we should do next?
Well, this Lynn Carter seems to keep coming up. Maybe we should try to call her. Tell her we've been in a car accident.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of going back to that house as well.
Yeah, we should do that.
I mean, I'd feel a lot happier if I properly knew where I was.
Well, what's the date?
I think even a smartphone, a flip phone, tells you the date.
Mm-hmm.
The date is September 17th, 2017.
2017. So I can make this comment. Let's just hope that the farm isn't like populated by cannibals, like in that recent American Horror Story.
Well, it's creepy any way you slice it. Let's why don't we get moving? It doesn't seem like there's going to be any road traffic on the road to help us out. There hasn't been any cars that passed since we came to.
See if we can at least lock up the van.
Yeah.
You know, so that some
Yeah, that's it. You have the keys.
hill folk don't come along and steal all of our stuff. There's cameras
Yeah,
and stuff.
take maybe we should look before we go anywhere. I like Daniel's idea of having a look at the. Whose idea was that? Sorry, I'm really not with it tonight. I feel, I don't know, I think I've really banged my head quite badly. I think we should have a look at the cameras.
Well, let's bring them with us.
Yeah.
Let's get to a place where we can be comfortable, at least while we're waiting.
Well, the voice recorders, too. I mean, we don't have any earphones. I've got headphones, or are they destroyed?
Do a luck roll.
Kind of yanked on them pretty hard to get them from around your neck.
97.
Yeah, I broke them. Sorry.
Snap.
Well, I mean, we can listen to some of that as we're walking towards the house.
That's what I was thinking.
You said it's about a mile. It'll take us, 10 minutes to get there?
Maybe longer if we're banged up.
Well, let's keep an eye on Damien, because he might have a concussion. Maybe one of you can help him walk.
Yep, I'll help.
Let me ask, so do you want to continue to the house, or did you want to try your phone? Tell me that.
Yeah, I do want to call. I actually, out of game, I missed a part about Lynn while I had to reconnect for a moment. So I'm not sure who Lynn is.
Oh, okay. So Daniel searched in the glove compartment and found a rental slip agreement, and Lynn Cartwright was the name on the slip.
Rental agreement for the truck?
Yeah, for the van.
Okay.
And her name has come up in the phones, so we assume that she's somebody.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If that's the most recent call, I will just maybe we can find out some more clues around who we are and what we're doing here. If our memories aren't coming back yet, let's try and see if we can get lucky enough to contact Lynn.
Well, we can do that while we're walking, can't we?
Yeah. Let's head out.
Okay. You start walking. You're starting to look at this equipment, and unfortunately, everything you look and check, there's nothing on it. They're either blank tapes or there's nothing recorded.
So we hadn't started yet. And the voice recorder is the same. Nothing.
Yeah, everything's blank.
Okay, I'm gonna place the call then.
And who are you calling again? I missed that. Sorry.
Len.
Okay. Do another luck roll.
14.
Wow.
I'm rolling lucky tonight.
Yeah. The call goes through and it rings and rings, and then eventually it goes to voicemail.
Okay, is there a voicemail message, or is it just leave a message?
Yeah, it's just, hi, this is Lynn. You know what to do. Beep.
Lynn, this is Tabitha Green. Me and the crew, we've been in an accident. Please call back as soon as you can. It's very important. Call as soon as you can.
Tell them that we're in Clio.
We're in Clio, Michigan, and we've been in a car wreck. We're hurt, and we're not even really sure what we're doing here. So we need to talk to you right away. Call me back. Click.
Yeah, no problem.
So we're walking along. Daniel, who are you talking to? Oh, you're recording. All right. Well, how are you feeling, Damien?
I'm feeling a bit better. I'm just.
Well, make sure you stay hydrated.
Is this normal to not remember anything for this long after an accident?
Well, depends on how hard you bumped your head. I still don't remember much. Although I seem to recall slipping and falling in a garage somewhere and banging my head, and that was a long time ago, but it's just a vague shadow of a memory.
Yeah, I think we all have concussions. We need to get to medical treatment.
So, how cold is it?
Yeah, it's chilly. I mean, it's like,
September in.
Cool September air, but recently around here it's been like in the 80s. So we'll say normally it's like around 50 or 60 degrees.
So,
and there's still a light rain, so you guys are starting to get, you're not soaking wet, but you're getting wet.
I would have put a jacket back on from the van.
I think we're probably walking rather briskly, if that's possible. Because it is slightly raining.
Daniel, can you do a spot hidden, please?
Okay, just a regular spot hidden, not turning around and wondering.
Yeah, sorry.
how many eyebrows Mick has tonight? That was a 12.
I'm going to say that's pass. I don't even need to look that up.
And Mick has 2. You
have the sense that someone or something is looking at you.
While I'm recording, I can stop and turn, look around, try to see if there's anybody behind us. Do I get a sense of where it's coming from, or is it just an overall feeling of?
There's an overall feeling, and then you think you hear or maybe see something move in the cornfield. You're not quite sure.
How far are we from the house?
About half a mile.
Guys,
Mm-hmm.
There's could be wrong, something moving in the cornfield over there.
It's probably a deer.
Raccoons. He who walks behind the rows.
Did they have bears in Michigan?
No, I don't think so. Not in corn country. Most likely they'd have to worry about raccoons stealing their corn.
Is it like a large movement, or they're just like brushing?
Weren't even entirely sure you heard it or not. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe just
I could be wrong. Could be wrong, guys. It just seemed like something moving, but I'll keep an eye out.
I'm going to ask everyone.
I think we're all just creeped out.
I'm going to ask everyone to take their headphones off, except for Kurt.
And you shall probably mute.
Tabitha, as you're walking down the road, you're sort of, your brain's still swirling. You're trying to figure out what's happening. You're a little bit not quite paying attention. And you look up, and in the road standing in front of you, about 10 or 20 feet in front of you, you see a boy, maybe about 10 or 12 years old. And again, you kind of get this feeling. You can't place his name, but you feel like you know him. And he's motioning to you. He's not saying anything. He's doing this motion. He's going like this.
Like he's pulling something out of his mouth?
Yeah. And then as you're watching this happen, you realize that his feet aren't touching the ground.
I'll call out to him. Hello?
And with that, he sort of just kind of like fades away.
Oh, okay. So I'll ask the others if they saw that. Did you guys
Come back.
Did you guys see that?
See what?
Did you
watching.
see that little boy?
Where? I
What
was watching.
did you see?
I saw a little boy right up in front of us in the street, about 10 yards down the street.
What? Did he
was
go
just-
anywhere?
He was just standing there and making like a weird hand motion, and then just disappeared. It was like he was floating there.
Well, maybe it's a kid. Kids play in the dark. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
You hear something move again, Daniel.
In the corn area?
Yeah.
I'm kind of, okay. There's something moving over there. I've heard it again, guys, in the corn.
Wait, maybe this is Children of the Corn.
Maybe another kid?
It's probably just a
Playing-
dog or
playing
a
jokes?
cat or something. Isn't it?
Maybe one of the kids ran out into the street, and that's what we maybe that's what we swerved to hit.
Maybe we should run.
As you say that, you hear something starting to run towards you
From the corn?
from the corn.
Run
Can,
like
we shine
hell.
can we shine our flashlight on it?
If you want.
All right, shine my flashlight on it.
Is anybody else running, or
Well, can we
I'm
run?
not-
or
I'm not running.
Do we need to?
No,
pretty hurt.
I'm not running. Well, I'm going to run from a kid.
Yeah.
Daniel,
Just wanna
were
see
you
what this
running,
is.
or did you?
Well, I'm sort of running to, I like to put other people between me and the thing running towards me.
Sure.
Don't touch me.
I'm just
And-
running on the other side.
And I'm
Right.
sorry, Tabitha, did you say you were running or not running?
No, I
Okay.
feel too banged up to try and run, and if I don't have to.
Okay. So, Daniel, you kind of take off. You're a little bit freaked out by this. Something is coming after you guys, and it's running. It's running toward you. It's chasing you. You can't get a clear look at it. It's kind of dark. I mean, obviously it's dark, but whatever it is that's chasing you is dark. It's low to the ground. I don't know. It could be a dog. It could be. It looks like it has multiple legs. As in
Multiple.
Can we all see it now?
4.
More than 4?
More than 4.
We
Can
can
any
all
of
see
us
it
see
now.
this?
The rest of
guys
you
see
don't
this?
see anything.
Look at that thing. It's got like 5, 6 legs, whatever the hell. Look at it. Get your gun out or something.
Line around. Don't see anything.
Are you
Honey,
still
I-
running, Daniel, or are you slowing down to talk?
Down. I'm slowing down. I wanted to get, like, I was trying to put that something between me and whatever is running, and now I'm kind of like,
Okay.
Honey, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. It might
You
be
guys-
that you have a concussion.
you guys don't see that thing. You don't see it.
No.
Where'd it go?
Look,
And Just
I
then,
don't want to be the one to bring this up, but we're seeing weird things. We've just crashed a car. Has anyone else considered that we might be on something?
You think we're all high?
We could be. We could be tripping.
Maybe we should call 911.
with that, Daniel, you see this thing come crashing out of the cornfield, and it's coming right towards you. And just as it hits the light from their flashlights, it just kind of like vaporizes. It just kind of dematerializes.
Well, I'll kind of drop. Whoa! That thing vanished.
It's okay.
there's-
It's a hallucination.
Did any of the others of us see it?
You did not. You don't know what he's talking about.
What thing, man? Just calm down. I think
Calm down.
I think some of us maybe might have taken something.
Here you.
Someone slipped us the
I don't think I
ganja.
take drugs.
It could just be that you bumped your head. Here, drink
it
some
could be-
water.
It could be the concussion.
But I swear I saw a little boy too just a minute ago. And I don't think I take drugs. I don't think I would have taken anything.
It's just our imaginations running wild with us. We're almost to the house.
Tabitha, can you take off another 2 points from your sanity? And Daniel, also another 2 points.
And now I start to also start looking at my hands again and start trying to get dirt out of my fingernails. Start trying to just put my fingers through my hair and get the mud out of my hair again. Feeling really agitated, and you'll see me start to try and start cleaning myself off again.
Yeah.
I gotta get this mud off me.
Okay, everybody, we just need to pull ourselves together. We've just got a little ways to go. Let's keep going.
The house has got to be safer than out here.
Yeah.
No guarantees.
I guess.
So first of all, let me throw in another little disclaimer. I've put up the map of Cleo, Michigan. So the scenario is set in Cleo, Michigan, but obviously I'm going to be taking liberties with street names, locations, and distances might be further than what they really are and that sort of thing. So you can use it as kind of a rough guideline, but if I say something that just kind of doesn't make sense, I've kind of adapted things.
All the viewers in Clio are going to let you know about it if you get it wrong.
There is no.
You make up a street name and they'll go looking all around their town to see if they can find that street.
Which was tore down 3 years ago.
All the ITD tourists.
So you're getting closer to the house now, and other than the porch light, it's pretty much dark. And you don't see any other houses around. It's like you're out in the boonies.
What time is it by the time you're getting up towards the door?
I'll say it's been a good half hour, so it's about 9 o'clock.
Yeah. All right. Are we there?
Yeah, you're basically coming up to the front yard.
I'm just going to go up and knock on the door.
As you
Whoa, we didn't even look around.
As you get to the front yard, you start to walk across the yard, and all of a sudden you hear a dog barking.
Does it sound like it's outside or inside?
Outside.
That was probably what you saw, Daniel. It was probably that dog.
Is it nearby or is it chained up or?
You don't quite know.
Okay.
You don't see it.
Well, I hear a dog, but I don't see a dog, so I'm still going to knock on the door.
Can I just ask something?
Yeah.
In the yard as we're walking in the light of the flashlight, is it possible to see if there are any tire tracks, footprints?
Are there any vehicles around?
There is a pickup truck in the driveway.
Uh-huh.
Is that what you mean, or is it like, are you looking
I'm
someplace?
just wondering whether it's all been kicked up. I'm just wondering whether this is where we came from. It's the only house near there, and we.
Yeah, we've got to really be careful because anybody who lives out here is definitely going to have guns.
I'm going to say you don't notice anything suspicious like what you're looking for.
Nothing looks familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as
you're getting closer to the door, the dog is barking like crazy now. It's almost it's not like in a frenzy, but it's clearly upset. It's barking a lot.
Okay.
And even before you knock or ring the doorbell, you see a light come on in the house.
Okay.
So you still want to knock or ring the doorbell?
Yeah. I'm hoping that I'm sorry I woke them up, but we've got an emergency.
So you knock and they were probably asleep. So in a reasonable amount of time, eventually the door opens about 6 inches or so, and the guy kind of looks out the door and he looks at you guys all standing there. You're all
It's a man.
Yeah, you're all filthy. You're all pretty much wet.
I am
He's
so
just got a
sorry.
look of confusion, and he's like, "Yeah."
I'm so sorry to disturb you. We have been in a car accident, and yours was the nearest house. Some of us have been injured. Can you help us?
And he kind of looks and he sees the blood on your shirt, and he's like, "Yeah, okay. What is it serious? Or you don't need to call 911?"
Yeah, I think a couple of us have concussions.
Yeah, I think I might be concussed.
We need to. Yeah, we'll probably need to call 911. I don't know how close your nearest hospital is or anything like that. We're not even quite sure where we are.
You don't know where you are?
I think we've had some memory loss. We must have been in a pretty bad accident. Our van is way back on the road, stuck in a ditch.
We're having trouble remembering.
What do you know you're in Cleo, Michigan?
We did look that up on our GPS, but we don't know why we're in Cleo, Michigan.
And he looks a little. He's like, you looked it up on your GPS. So you have a phone then?
Mm-hmm.
But you want to come in and use my phone?
Well, we would just like to get some water and convalesce for a few minutes because, as I say, our friend is injured. Can we wait here for the cops, the ambulance, we don't know who to call.
Can we just come inside?
You guys can clearly see that he's taken aback. He's not quite sure what to make of all this.
Okay.
Yeah, if he's seen any horror movie ever, he wouldn't be.
Can I use like
let us in.
persuade or charm?
Yeah. Why don't if you talk your way through it, I'll let you do it without rolling.
Oh, okay. I just give him the smile. I'm like, please, we're injured. It's raining. We've walked a long way and we're in a lot of pain. Can we at least come in and sit down and dry off?
He kind of looks over everyone again, and he says, "I'll tell you what." He says, "I'll let one of you come in to make the phone call. The rest of you have to wait outside."
All right. Well,
and he turns around and he yells. He's, "Buck, will you shut up?" And the dog kind of stops barking a little bit.
yeah, I'm sorry we've disturbed you. Well, I think we can make the phone call from here, but can our friend here who's been injured at least come in and sit down? Damien.
And with that, you hear a woman's voice behind him, and she says, "What is it, dear?" And he's like, "I'm not quite sure." He says, "Go back to bed. Go back to bed." He says, "I don't mean to be rude, but I don't. No, I'm going to ask you to wait outside, except for you."
For which one?
He's talking to you. Yeah, he's saying you can come in. The rest of you have to wait outside.
I look at the others. I'm like, I'm going to call 911.
Okay.
And as I step inside and dial, I asked him, "How long do you think it will be for them to get here?"
Trying to think. I mean, 911 is it an emergency? Like somebody
been in a car accident? Yes.
I mean, is it life-threatening? I mean, you could just call the cops for a car accident or call a tow truck.
He's got a concussion. He's bleeding. We need to call someone.
Okay. So he says, I mean, the cops will be here probably within 15, 20 minutes, maybe even shorter than that.
let's call the cops, but let's at least tell them what. Let's call 911 and tell them what the
so he
situation is.
gives you the phone. 911. What's your emergency?
We've been in a car accident. We're at a farmhouse, and I look at the man and I say, "Do you know what the address here is?" Well, of course he knows the address. What's your address?
Yeah, and he tells you 720 Macumsey Road.
720 Macumsey Road. We're at a farmhouse. We're about a mile from where we had the accident. Some of us have been injured. One of us may have a serious concussion.
How many are you?
There are 5 of us. 4 of us. There are 4 of us.
Is it 4 or is it 5?
There's 4.
And only one of you is hurt?
No, we're all kind of hurt, but one of us is more seriously hurt than the others.
Okay, we will have someone out there shortly.
Right. Do you have any idea how long it will be?
If you want to stand in the line, we can stand in line with you, but I can't tell you exactly. I don't know.
All right. I'll stay on the line then.
So she will continue to ask you some questions. And she's got
Do I by chance see the wife?
She kind of maybe like peeks her head out of the bedroom, like just wondering like, what the heck's going on up there? And so you see her, but she doesn't come out.
Does she have chains on or something like that? Is she naked and chained up to the wall? No. All right. Could I trouble you for some water, sir?
Sure. Yeah. And he goes, he gets a cup of water.
And I say to the person, is it a man or a woman on the line?
On the line, it's a woman.
I say, apparently we don't even know how our van went off the road, and I think a lot of us, I think we've all suffered some memory loss because apparently we're part of some sort of a TV show, but we don't remember anything. We've got ID, and we're all from California, I believe, but we're all having trouble. We probably all have concussions.
She asks you, she says, well, is this something I need to get an ambulance out there for? Or do you just need a police officer?
Just a vehicle to get us somewhere. I don't want to disturb this farmer for any more length of time, but if we could get into town, or we don't know where we are, maybe the hospital, he might need convalescence. He's drowsy and he's woozy.
Okay, then I will send an ambulance, and the police will get there sooner than the ambulance.
Okay.
So, if there's anything else you can do, we can kind of fast forward a little bit.
Well, I just sort of say to the guy, "Are you sure? Is there any way that they can come inside? It's cold, it's rainy, and they've been injured. Just to get out of the rain."
And he was listening to everything, so he feels, since you actually made the phone call and now he knows the police are coming, he feels, what could go wrong. So yeah, he'll say, well, go get your friends and wipe your feet.
Yeah. So I motion for everybody to come back in. Come on in. Wipe your feet. This is a nice farmhouse.
Thank you.
So I stay over to the side with the phone, and I guess they come in.
Yep. And if anybody wants to do anything, I'll have the police show up that first.
Okay. Does he let us sit down? Does he?
I mean, I don't know if you would like you looking at yourself and seeing how dirty you all are. I don't think you wouldn't even want to sit down.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe he's got wooden chairs or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Could I use your restroom to clean up?
He's hesitant, but he allows it. He's like, yeah, it's down the hall.
Cool. So I would have probably brought some extra clothes if I would have found them in the van, and I'll go in the bathroom and change out of the dirty clothes.
Okay.
Wash up as best I can.
Okay.
I'm just gonna sit down, I think.
Okay.
I would also maybe try and place another call to Lynn, and if I get the voicemail again, just same message as before. Lynn, need to talk to you. Tabitha, we've been in an accident. Call me back. Call me back.
Yep, that's fine.
All right.
Within a reasonable amount of time, maybe about 8 to 10 minutes, eventually you see a police cruiser pull up out front.
Okay.
And he comes up to the door and, what's going on? What's happening? Who's hurt? Who's in trouble?
Well, I'm hurt, as you can see. I was driving, and I think I must have smashed my face on the steering wheel, or the I guess the steering wheel, maybe the dashboard or something. But I think I'm concussed. I can't remember a damn thing. I don't even know why I'm here. I didn't even know my name until I looked at my ID.
And if they've arrived, I've hung up the phone.
Oh yeah, sure. And he kind of raises an eyebrow, like, don't remember? And that's unusual.
Yeah, I know. It sounds crazy. I mean, believe me, it sounds just as crazy to me.
We've all probably been concussed because none of us can remember very well what happened.
Yeah, he's not to the point where he's not disbelieving you, but he's kind of like, this is weird.
Mm-hmm. How far is it to the officer to the nearest hospital?
He asks Damien, like, well, do you feel like you need a proper hospital? He says, we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. If you want a proper hospital, we can take you to either Flint or Saginaw. I think Saginaw is closer. But we do have like one of those 24-hour urgent care.
That would probably be okay.
That would be fine. I just need someone to just, check whether I've got concussion or not, really.
And he's kind of like asking you.
I'd like to know whether my nose is broken.
Yes, he's been asking all of you a series of questions. So he's kind of like, he's trying to judge, are you guys under the influence of anything? He's watching you all closely. He asks you where the van is, obviously, because he didn't see it when he pulled up. And you guys tell him, obviously. And he's like, well, if it's not an emergency, I mean, I could probably give you a ride. Or if you want, I could call a tow truck and maybe we could get your van unstuck. It's up to you.
We're less worried about the tow truck and about the van than we are about our friend here. Can we kind of assess which of us is not as badly injured, and maybe he take the more injured people to the all-night clinic? I mean, if he can't fit all four of us into his cruiser, suppose three of us in the front, one in the front seat and three in the back. Maybe that would be okay. But I don't know if the dispatch has already sent the ambulance.
Well, he made the call. He determined when he got there that it didn't seem life-threatening for an ambulance. So he's like, I mean, it'll be a tight cramp, but I think I could fit you all in the car.
All right.
Okay.
And I sort of lean over. Now we've probably all showed him our IDs.
Yeah.
So he at least knows who we are. And I lean over to him kind of chuckling and I say, we all might be under the influence, but I don't remember any kind of alcohol or drugs. And I can walk a straight line. I proved it to myself. I think that we're TV crew, but
TV crew.
I don't feel under the influence.
We'll see his shirt and his shirt, and we have a lot of camera equipment. Must have been a nasty bump.
And with that, where is it? He looks at you, Damien and Daniel, and he's like, "Oh," he's like, "You two are the guys from the TV show." It's like, "I recognize you guys."
Oh, you know us?
You don't remember me?
No.
We meet a lot of people.
I just talked to you yesterday.
What was it about again? We've got a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Were we here?
It was just the two of you. This is like you guys are already in the car. You're on the way to the town.
Yeah.
And he's like, you guys interviewed me about that ghost show. You were asking me a bunch of questions.
Which ghost story was this? Remind me. We did a whole bunch of interviews.
The
knowing glance to Daniel. What the hell?
And he's like, you guys did say it was not going to be. My face wouldn't be shown, right? This is off the record.
Always.
He says you guys were asking all about the Cooper house.
Oh, right. Cooper house.
There's all these rumors about it being haunted, and I've heard some weird things going on out there, but I never saw anything personally.
Cooper house. Yep.
I told you all this yesterday. I'm surprised you don't remember any of it.
Do you remember, Damien? You were the one. You were taking notes, weren't you?
I don't remember a damn thing.
Must have conked to the head. Does a lot of damage sometimes.
You have to forgive us that the car accident really shook us up.
Yeah, you guys might be a little worse off than I initially thought. And unless you guys want to ask more questions, you can be arriving at the urgent care. He makes arrangements. He says, "What do you want to do about the van? Do you want me to tow it someplace, or?"
Well, if you could recommend a tow truck.
We only have one. You're going to have to talk to Dave. I mean, I could talk to him for you if you want.
Well, we could do that in the morning. There's not much. We locked the van up, but I don't imagine you have a lot of vagrants running around the countryside. So I think they can pick it up tomorrow.
He kind of like hesitates. He's like, "Well, that house, there's a lot of drug activity out there."
Oh, at that house?
Yeah.
We thought they were just farmers.
Not the farmer house, but the Cooper house is the one he's talking about.
Oh, is that somewhere nearby?
Yeah, it's down the road from the. Sorry, I want to say Berkeley, but that's not it. It's down the street from the Baker's house.
So the farmer was Mr. Baker.
Correct.
So we were close to this place.
You were about maybe 4 or 5 miles away.
Maybe we were driving out there and we lost control of the car. See, we have all this recording equipment, but there's nothing on any of it. So it's like we hadn't done anything yet. Does my question to the GM, does any of this start to feel vaguely familiar, or is it still just...
It's all like, as he's kind of telling you the stuff, it's all like, oh yeah, that kind of rings a bell, but like nothing is like crystal clear where it immediately comes back to you in a flood and you're like, oh yeah, now I remember. It's more like everything's just kind of like right on the fringe of your memory. It's like when you're trying to remember a musician's name or band name and you can't think of it, and as soon as somebody says it, you're like, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
No.
Well, the van wasn't too badly damaged. If we could get it towed out of the ditch, we could probably drive it away.
Yeah, I don't think I want to leave that sitting on the side of the road like that, too. That could be a problem.
Well, you know the
Officer.
area better than we do.
Officer, could I ask when we were interviewing you, did we video you or anything? Or record
you had set up a camera, and the other guy over there, sorry, I forgot your name. He had the big microphone. But you assured me that it was one of those like blurred face shadow thing that I wouldn't be actually on camera.
So we had camera interviewing you.
Well, what was I doing? Was I even there?
I don't remember you being there, no.
Perhaps I'm the executive producer.
Yeah.
Or the caterer.
Maybe we're like that one show that went to that island in Scotland.
That whole shebang.
Yeah, that show got canceled.
That was all a big publicity stunt.
I'd look up to that Sterling guy.
Oh, he's still out there somewhere. It's just a big publicity stunt. You know it was. They're all probably living on a South Seas island somewhere. Well,
like that island where they had that failed reality TV show, and they all.
Oh, that was another fiasco.
The dinosaur things.
Yeah.
Bird
ridiculous
things.
Things they do for survival shows.
And the cop's just looking at you like he's ready to
The best part about that show, I will say, was the pissing contest between the two producers. That was great. Made for good TV.
Oh, you're talking about that. Oh. Now, what was that show? The Other Side? Yeah.
I actually forgot to give you guys a clue.
A clue.
I apologize for that. Back when you guys were searching your persons to see like what kind of things you had and so forth, each one of you has a key, like one of those blue plastic fobs from the Coach and Lantern Motel.
Well,
Daniel, you're in room 3. Joanne, you're in room 5. Tabitha, you're in room 6. And Damien, you're in room 7.
Well,
I wonder if I could maybe try to GPS that again and see how far we are from that motel.
Mr. Officer, what's your name, by the way, sir?
His name is Sergeant Joseph Kennedy.
Sergeant Kennedy. I just found this tag in my my purse. Apparently, we were staying at a hotel called the Coach and Lantern. You know where that is?
Oh yeah, that's right down the street, not too far.
Oh, excellent. Maybe we've got clothes and stuff there.
Maybe the other tapes are there.
Well, let's get everybody checked out first.
Yeah, so the nurse comes out. She looks at you. They want to run a few tests. They want to check your blood pressure, all that stuff. So it's probably going to be about 45 minutes at least. Do you all want to wait with him, or do you want to do anything else separately?
Well, I think that she should check all of us out because we've all had memory loss.
You talk about the. So she then expresses some concern about the concussions, and she says, "Well, I'm afraid I might have to do some CAT scans or MRI scans, and we don't really have the equipment for that. We just have an X-ray.
Well, do you think we should just go back to our hotel and sleep it off?
I mean, there's a certain amount of hesitation. Like, she doesn't want to advise you what to do. She's like, you know, I can take X-rays of everybody, and just, are you all together, I assume?
Yes.
So, you know, keep an eye on one another, and if it seems like it's getting worse, then yes, go straight to the hospital in Saginaw. If it seems as though things are getting better and clearing up, it's possible. I mean, a concussion can be dangerous. The symptoms can last like 6 months, but generally speaking, they start to get better in a day or two.
Okay. So
she takes your contact information down, runs a whole bunch of tests on each of you, a bunch of paperwork, a bunch of insurance stuff you got to fill out. So by now it's like 11:30 at night.
has the cop stayed with us, or
it's up to you guys. Like he's still concerned about the van being on the road and that being a traffic hazard.
Well, is there some way we can find some transport to the motel? Can we call a cab? Do you have anything like that?
I wonder if we should maybe split up. Maybe two of us who aren't as badly injured can go wait for the tow truck at the van, and then we can drive the van back to the motel, and we can have the officer bring the other two of us back to the hotel that are more hurt.
I think that makes sense. So we'll say the cop called the tow truck, Dave. He actually picked up two of you. Two of you went with him out to the van. It was actually fairly easy for him to get unstuck with the tow truck. And then one of the two of you can then drive it back to either the urgent care or to the hotel, the Lantern place.
We'll drive it back to the hotel, drive it to the urgent care and pick us up and then take us to the hotel.
Okay. So we'll say that all that happened over the course while everything was getting taken care of medically.
So we're at the motel.
Sure, if that's where you're headed, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we should, even though we each have a room, I wonder if we should maybe pair up so we can kind of keep an eye on each other if we take a turn for the worse. Maybe the women in one room and the men in one room.
That's a good idea.
Look out for each other.
Could everybody take their headphones off except for Joanne?
Cool.
As you guys are in the van, you're approaching the motel. It definitely looks familiar. And you have a flash. There's like a white flash in your vision. And you are having a memory, like a flashback. You're sitting in the front seat of the passenger seat. Next to you, you see Tabitha driving. And there's a voice that says, "This looks like the only game in town." And the van pulls into the motel parking lot. It's a woman's voice, and behind you says, "All right, let's get some rooms and then something to eat. I'm starving. Dinner's on me." And turning around, you see a red-haired woman, but you don't recognize her.
So there's no boys in the van, just the three of us.
It probably would have been all of you. Yeah, there would have been the boys too.
Okay.
And then with that, you get like another white flash, and then you're back in real time. The rest of you can come back, and then you're going to also take 3 points of sanity.
Okay. Everybody come back. Oh. I just remembered.
Are you okay?
Something. Yeah, I just remembered something, but it's kind of vague. I think I remember arriving at this motel the other day. You were all there. Tabitha was driving, there was somebody else with us, a redhead. Do any of you remember a redhead?
Redhead.
Redheaded woman.
The Tabitha, you know that from looking through those pictures on your phone, you remember seeing a redheaded woman.
Yeah. Look, she's in the pictures. So I show him the phone.
That's the girl. Who the hell is that?
I wonder if she's tagged. And did we post any of these pictures? Like, now that we can, there's a little bit better of a kind of a safer environment around us. Maybe do we post any of these pictures to social media? Is she tagged? Can I kind of validate just who we are and see if she's tagged on maybe Facebook or Instagram in one of these pictures?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Do a luck roll, but as long as you don't get a crit fail.
Well, you see if you can figure that out. I'm going to take a shower.
Oh, shower.
I've got dirt in my hair.
Okay, I'm after you. I rolled a 49 for luck.
Yeah, that's fine. And you do. After just a little bit of digging, you are able to put the name to the face, and it was Lynn Cartwright.
Oh, so that's Lynn.
And that reminds me, I'll try and call her again.
Yeah, no answer.
Okay, I'll leave a similar message last time. Lynn, we really need to get in touch with you. Please call me back. It's Tabitha as soon as you can. Call me. Call Joanne.
So I take my shower and I dry off and I put on clean clothes, which I hope that I've got clean clothes.
Yeah.
Shower's free.
Okay, I'm jumping in. Go show this picture, Joanne, to Damien and Daniel, and see if they recognize Lynn.
See if they remember. So
she was here with us.
I go and I knock on their doors.
Hello.
Hi. We found something. The redhead apparently is this woman. It's Lynn
Cartwright.
Lynn Cartwright. Do you guys remember her?
Any recognition?
Yes, there is that moment of, oh yeah, that definitely rings a bell now, and you put the name to the face, and it triggered as this makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty.
Yep.
When all that happens, you each take 1 point sanity.
Dang. Do you want to know when it reaches a certain point?
No. But thank you for
So apparently this is her, but I seem to recall that she was here with us.
Yeah.
At least my memory is that we were pulling into the the parking lot of this motel, and she was in the van with us. So maybe she's here somewhere. Maybe she's in another room.
Let's go to the front desk, or not? Or
That's a good idea. Let's
do that. Yeah, they'll know.
Oh, geez. You guys were taking showers. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to stare.
No, they're guys. They didn't even think to take a shower. They're all just sitting around watching television in their mud-caked clothes.
Hey, it's my family.
resting in the air conditioning. Oh, jeez.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
a good idea. You want to check with the front desk?
Yeah, I'll go. Unless one of you want to go. I'm all nice and cleaned up.
Yeah, I should really clean up. I'm still covered in dried blood.
You need to lay down too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna maybe have a shower.
All right. So I go down to the night desk person. It's a motel.
Mhm.
If they're still up, I don't know if they take people in the middle of the night. So
Yeah, it's not exactly the nicest hotel. It's one of those like It's off the main highway. I think it was Route
Right.
75, if memory serves. So, it's a little bit run down. It's got normal amenities, but
Well, if I walk into the front lobby and there's nobody apparently there, maybe they're in the back room watching TV or something like that, I'm just going to look at the registration thing and see if she checked in.
I think probably like when you open the door, there would be like a little bell or something, and then they would get up. They're used to this. They'd probably have truckers coming in all hours of the night.
That's probably true.
Um,
Hello.
So a lady comes out. And she's like, "Yes, can I help you? Is everything okay?"
Well, apparently we checked in. We've lost one of our friends, a redhead.
Oh yeah, I remember her. She had
named Lynn.
beautiful red hair. Yeah.
Is she staying in one of the rooms?
Yeah. You all got rooms at the same time.
Which room is hers?
She was in room 4, I believe.
Room 4. Thank you very much. You have a lovely motel. I leave. Do you have room service? I'm famished.
It's not that nice.
Well, burgers and fries. Whatever. So I go back up and I just go straight to room 4. And I knock.
No answer.
I knock a couple times. No answer. I try the door.
It's locked.
She must not be here. Well, I'll go back.
Okay.
Well, apparently she's in room 4, but she's not there, or she's asleep. She could be sound asleep this time of night, but the door's locked. I tried.
I wonder, I've just came out the world's longest shower. If we call her, maybe she's in the room, maybe something happened to her. I wonder if we try and call her and we're outside her door, if we can hear her phone ring.
That's a cool idea, but you know what? I'm tired of walking around in the rain. I'm all clean. I'll stay here. You guys do that.
Okay. Well, I feel a lot better now that I'm kind of clean, fresh clothes. I will actually try that idea. Just maybe stand outside her door, call the phone, and I know it's a long shot, just to see if I can hear it ringing.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea, but unfortunately it doesn't work. You get to the front, you call, and you don't hear anything ringing or making a noise.
I'll try the doorknob. Is it locked?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna assume she's not here either. Okay, I'll go back to the room.
Okay. So, do you have anything else you guys want to do? Because I have 2 ideas.
I'm going to look really quickly around my room to see if there's anything in my luggage that gives me more of a solid idea of who I am. Am I married? Do I have a ring on?
You do not have a ring on.
Do I have a mark where the ring was?
No.
All right, so I'm not divorced. I'm single.
From what the cop said, it led me to believe that I'm a cameraman. Is there any camera gear in my room or videotapes specifically?
Yes. There is a laptop computer.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, nothing really stands out. There might be a few tapes that are marked like spares or backup, that sort of thing.
I'll have a look at the laptop.
Okay. You lift the lid, and it's prompting you for the password.
I had a feeling that might happen.
Hmm.
Does anything immediately come to mind?
No.
Can I try password?
You try that; it does not work.
How about loves to spooge with a number 2 in the middle?
Do a luck roll.
$12.
That's the right password.
It's muscle memory.
It just came to you.
His hands just went on there and just typed that out.
So once you get in, it's the same sort of thing. There are things that once you see them, you recognize them. You know this is your laptop. There is a folder that's marked B-roll, and it has digital downloads to it.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I'm going to have a look through that. I think also at some point I'll sort of flick in and out of my browser as well, and have a look and see if I've got anything interesting on my browser history, like a link to social media pages or anything like that, so I can try and get an idea of who I am and
Yeah,
something I get up to.
we'll say let's see. Nothing really important really jumps out at you. I mean, there's some email contacts with you and Lynn Cartwright. There, you can go back into your email contacts and see communication about getting plane tickets coming out to Michigan. So it's kind of like everything you kind of suspect already. It's basically you're confirming it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll in that case, I'm going to just start going through the footage.
Okay. I think at this point it's good for me to remind you all that it's now probably close to midnight, and you guys have had a rough day.
Yeah.
You're all super tired. You're exhausted. The adrenaline's worn off. You're hurting still. The few of you that were drinking water, your throat still hurt. It's like you're one of the worst sore throats you've had when you were sick. So I you can continue to look at this stuff, but I just want to let you know that you're really tired.
Yeah.
Should we sleep in shifts?
Oh,
I'm going to wear pajamas.
Just
I thought I might just run through the stuff on the laptop and just doze off.
It's a king size bed. Just sleep next to me. Big deal.
Well, I was just wondering if we have concussion, should we be keeping an eye on each other?
I think you and I are okay. They're in the other rooms, so
I think the urgent care probably wouldn't have released you if they thought you were under any serious threat. So they kind of just gave you that general warning to just keep an eye out on each other, but if they probably wouldn't have sent you home if they didn't feel comfortable enough with that.
Cool.
When you start to open the stuff on the video file, you see it's roughly you look at the time code, it's about 3 hours long. So I need you to tell me if you're actually going to watch it from beginning to finish, or if you're just going to skim it, or.
Yeah, I'm just going to sort of skim it. I don't know what sort of viewer I'm using, but if it was VLC, I'd just be using Shift and the right cursor button and just skipping forward a few seconds at a time.
Yeah.
Until something happens. You know,
Can you remind me?
as I would with a boring film.
Yeah. Can you remind me? Is Daniel in the room with you? Are you sleeping together, or are you guys staying separate?
We're in the same room. We're not
Same room.
sleeping together in a biblical sense.
We hardly know each other anymore.
Sleeping together and knowing each other in a biblical sense.
All right. So while he's looking at the video, Daniel, do you want to do anything, or?
I'm going to sleep.
Okay.
I feel confident he's awake. I probably, if he wasn't awake, I'd be a little more nervous, but I do think we should. Is there any one of those little rubber triangle things for holding doors open in the closet or anything? Because I like to jam something under the front door so no one opens it while we're sleeping.
Okay.
Or something, anything. I don't care if it's a toe of a shoe. I just want to jam something under the door so that nobody opens the door on us.
Okay.
Isn't there a
You know,
latch?
we could be a couple. We have no way of knowing that we're not a couple.
That is true.
We could totally be a couple. I'm just putting that out there because I've just occurred to me. Neither of us know.
That's true. They are unknown characters.
I'm just saying that if you have any feelings, you know, just let
You'll just
them
be
out.
over there on the computer.
I'll just be over here. You know,
If
you
it gets
know where
cold,
I
I'll
am
let
if
you
you
know.
need me. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, we need to. We don't know who we are. We need to explore ourselves.
See if something rings a bell or wakes
Discover
up.
who we are. Conserve heat. Oh, that's a different character.
Okay. I don't have anything in the scenario about this, so you guys are on your own.
I'm going to sleep. He's on the computer.
Okay.
I'll look at his browser
Okay.
history when he goes to the washroom.
Night, honey.
Could everyone except for Damien take their headphones off, please? Excuse me. As you're kind of going through the video bit by bit, you're fast forwarding, you're clicking on things, and all of a sudden you see in the video, most of it is boring stuff. It's like shots of the town. It's what they call B-roll footage. So it's like in between shots, atmosphere shots. You're trying as a cameraman to make things look creepier than maybe they really are. But at some point you get to the point where you see a house and a white light sort of flashes in your mind, and you have a sort of a memory flashback. It's not so much visual; it's more of what you hear. You hear kind of like in a panicked voice. You hear a voice says, "What do you mean the door's locked?" And then you hear in your own voice, you say, "I mean it's closed and locked. I can't open it."
And is this video from inside the house?
The video just showed the front of the house, and
Right.
as soon as you saw it, it triggered this sort of flashback. So what I'm describing to you now is like
right. So okay.
Yeah. And then you hear voices. Wait, where's? And then there's a pause, and then all of a sudden you hear a god awful scream, a woman screaming, and then you hear another voice saying, "What the hell was that?" And then there's another loud screech, a shrieking noise, and then there's panic and there's chaos. People yelling. And you hear one say, "Get away from it! Run!" And then your voice says, "Well, how do we get out of here?" And then in a large, deep, booming voice, you hear the words, "Do you want to live?" And then you flash back to normal.
And this was all quite instantaneous.
Yes, this is like a matter of seconds.
Damn. Are there any cigarettes in this hotel room? Because I really need a cigarette right now. I think I've just discovered that my character smokes. Is Daniel asleep?
Trying to. What are you
Yeah,
mumbling about?
He pretty
No,
much as soon as his head hit the pillow, he was exhausted. He's asleep.
I'm just going to pause the video and go and stand outside and have a cigarette.
Okay.
And try and sort of make sense of what I've just seen.
Let's go back to the women's room. Unless you have the. Were you done? Sorry, didn't mean to cut you.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm just trying to sort of. I'm just unnerved.
Okay. Ladies, anything you guys want to do? You want to decide first whose room you're in? It's not critical, but I'm just curious.
We'll say we're in my room.
Okay.
But something odd. It's a big king size bed, so I just say you sleep there, I'll sleep here. But after I'm in bed for like 5 minutes, I suddenly get very nervous, and I get up out of bed and I go over to the couch, and I lay there, but I fall asleep.
Okay.
Yeah, I would also just be trying to fall asleep.
I didn't want Tabitha to accidentally like put her arms around me or touch me or anything like that.
Yeah, you're not my type.
Well, it's not that. I just for some strange reason, I just didn't want you touching me.
No. Yeah, I'm even too tired to see what's on free HBO. I'm gonna just try and fall asleep as
Sure.
again pass out.
Why don't each of you? Why don't each of you give me a roll and tell me who gets the lowest?
Okay. 45.
88.
45. Okay, let's do this. It's getting close. So, yeah, I'll do it one more time. So, everybody except Joanne, can you take your headphones off for a minute? So, Joanne, you fall into a deep sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a dream. This is what you see transpire. You're moving through a city that is completely empty of life, but is far from silent. All around you, cries of sadness and terror can be heard, but there is no sign of those doing the weeping. While the strange city is lifeless, you are not alone. All around you, unmoving dark figures, but you know they are not the ones who are crying. Time and time again, you reach out to the dark shapes, only to watch in horror as they crumble to dust and ash at your slightest caress. Then suddenly, someone is touching you on the shoulder from behind. You twirl about, ecstatic to find another living soul in this dead place. But all joy vanishes from when you see, clad in tattered yellow robes, wearing a cracked pallid mask, it asks you, "Tell me, have you seen the yellow sign?" And then you can add 1% Cthulhu Mythos and do a 1d8 sanity roll.
1d8. 2.
Okay. And with that, you're going to snap awake.
And how much percent for the other?
1% Cthulhu Mythos.
Okay.
All right. Bring everybody back. All right, so everybody's pretty much asleep, except Damien, who's outside having a cigarette, and Joanne, who
I'm going to go back to bed as soon as I finish my cigarette. Brush my teeth.
And I'm sleeping somewhat restlessly. Oh.
And I think with that, we could probably end it there.
Excellent. Very weird and interesting. Suddenly dawned on me that you could theoretically play the entire game with nobody getting their character sheets except the GM, and he just tells you if you're successful or not.
I thought of that, but it's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Our players included Kurt LeBlanc, Mick Swan, Sean Little, and myself with Jeff Wilkins as the Keeper of the Secrets. Our musical intro, A Singular Perversion, Darkness, was composed by Kevin MacLeod and is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution license. We're currently producing 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. Patrons of our show can now enjoy recordings of our pre- and post-game conversations. Some of the funniest and most interesting stuff occurs before and after the show. If you'd like to become a patron, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month will help us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We love hearing from you. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.